that was a good result. Good result down to vitality. Excellent team, Bournemouth. And you've got to say, particularly in the first half, a much better team performance from West Ham. But. As I understand it, just at the point of going to record this video, when I'm actually recording, as you're watching this, I've recorded this last night, sort of straight after the game. That was their record number of shots they've ever had in a Premier League home game, Bournemouth. So that was quite an interesting stat. That being said, it didn't feel totally uncomfortable. Now, let's get this right. I think Fabianski made at least 4 outstanding saves. I would also like to factor in, I think, that we had at least 2 Hollywood blocks by Max Kilman as well. But aside from that, I thought we were relatively comfortable. I actually thought we took it to them in the first half, certainly. And we were a little bit unlucky, actually, on a couple of occasions. I thought Vladimir Coufal, particularly in the first half, was absolutely sensational. I know he skied that chance sort of really, really high and handsome, wasn't it? But I thought he was really heavily involved. I thought some really good overlaps. I thought there were some excellent attacks from West Ham. And we had the better of the first half. Absolutely we did. There was a point sort of halfway through when, if you'd have looked at the stats, we were matching them sort of blow for blow, or so the statistics would have told you. But I thought we'd had the better of it. It has to be said. I thought Semenyo, I know he got an injury, apparently, a hamstring injury, and went off in the second half. But I thought Wan-Bissaka had him not in his pocket, but as tied up as he's probably been this season on some occasions. I think Wan-Bissaka did really well, and you saw him actually trying to drift over to the other side on occasion and try and sort of set up against Coufal, who once again was playing really well. While I'm remembering it, did you see Soufal's nutmeg, where he nutmegged the guy and then set off an attack, really good attack. It was that attack which Thomas Souček sort of drove the ball just wide. We had some decent chances, and Jarrod Bowen hitting the bar. My goodness. That was following a Mohamed Kudus run. Really good run from Kudus. And it was a feature of his game all night. It was some really decent direct running from him. Not quite his sizzling, scintillating best, but I don't think anyone in the West Ham team was in their scintillating, sizzling best. I think what you did have was nobody playing terribly. Don't get me wrong, I thought Mavropanos was clumsy. And I was saying this long before the end of the game, when he got himself in his knickers in a twist and got himself into a bit of a pickle. Could have done far better. It was a free kick, obviously, that they scored, wasn't it? Great free kick, by the way. What an excellent free kick. Fabianski had absolutely no chance with that at all. But by and large, I don't think there were too many West Ham players who had absolute stinkers. So I thought we did all right, actually. I was expecting. I say I was expecting them all in. I predicted a 2-1 win to Bournemouth, which isn't perhaps a maul-in, but I did expect them to have too much for us. I actually thought we blunted them, particularly in the first half. For all their attacks, I thought they were lacking a bit of guile. In many respects, sort of watching them play, and I like Bournemouth. I think they're really good. I think they've got pacey wingers, really good attack. But I thought for all of that, I thought they lacked somebody with real sort of guile in the middle, real guile and class in the form that we were just sort of passing it around a little bit better. And it was weird. Whilst maybe Paquetá would go on and score the penalty, wasn't as neat and tidy as some of the players that Bournemouth had, you always got the impression he was capable of doing something magical, a little piece of magic, which I never really thought possible from any of them at any point. Lopetegui got another card. Look, I'm not going to spend this video moaning about Lopetegui. I'm really not, because there's other things to discuss. I think it's probably safe to say he's not going anywhere now. I do think that was a good point. I think it was a deserved point, I have to say. I know they bombarded us a bit at the end, but I thought we were the better in the first half. They were the better in the second half, and we did not deserve to get a pummeling in that. And rightly so, we didn't. I think a concern remains about the number of chances teams get against us. And I do think Fabianski and I think Kilman had to do some exceptional individual bits of, in Fabianski's case, goalkeeping skill. And as I mentioned in Kilman, some sort of Hollywood blocks and Hollywood defending. But by and large, I thought it was okay. And I really enjoyed the first half, it has to be said. I guess I never really felt that we could keep it up for the second half, so I was massively surprised that there was a swing in the game. But again, the swing in the game wasn't as big as I thought, and you still got to, late on in the game, Fulkrug could and Fulkrug should have scored. We'll get to that. I just want to do a couple of individual performances. We'll do that in just a second. Before I do, it's not too late to get your Father Christmas letter. Letter from Santa. It's the Santa Co. So the santaco.co.uk. The link is in the description below. Go and get your Father Christmas letter. What am I talking about? Well, basically, your son or your daughter, they can get a letter, a personalised letter, not some ridiculous sort of, generated thing, a proper personalised letter from Father Christmas. And they will give as much detail as you can put in. So it's not just your son or daughter's name, the sort of presents they want, their hobbies, what they're into, why have they been naughty, why have they been nice, all that type of thing. It all goes in. And the more detailed you are, the better letter you get back. Comes in a beautiful red envelope, nice thick paper, and also there's a QR code on it. So when you get this wonderful letter, and we're getting you a 30% discount, 50% if you're a Hammers Chat patron, then you get it a QR code, you scan it, and Father Christmas reads out the message that's been written in the letter as well. We think they're really, really lovely gifts, and best of all, we found out about it through West Ham fans. There's a lot of West Ham fans basically working in this company, new company, start-up company, really, really good. Check it out. The link is in the description below, the santaco.co.uk. What am I talking about here? The discount code, that's the word I'm looking for. All one word, Hammers Chat. Go and check that out. So Kilman, I mentioned, really good. I was really happy with him. Mavropanos, clumsy. Fabianski, brilliant. Very, very good, Soufal. Not Obi-Wan Bissaka's best game, but his cross for Fulkrug's header, really good. He'd switched to the right-hand side at that point, so he started off at left-back. Which will bring us on to the youngsters. We'll get on to that in a second. But great cross. Fulkrug sort of headed it straight at Kepa. Should have done a bit better. But there was enough. I don't know why. I feel I've seen more of Fulkrug now. That's because I have seen more of Fulkrug now. I feel I know a little bit more about him. I want to see a little bit more. Well, I want to see a lot more. Never mind a little bit more. But it was good for him to get into that, very much a striker position to make that header. Actually, it didn't matter too much because we got a I don't know, was it from that cross? It might have been from that cross at the handball. Maybe not. We were to get a penalty shortly after. I mean, sort of seconds after, really, we were going to get a penalty, which was really nicely converted by Paquetá. We'll deal with Paquetá in another video because he's done something really cryptic. He's gone all Eric Cantona on us. You might have seen that in the preview when I did the build-up show, but we had a little chat about that. We'll do that. We'll do that in a video tomorrow. I'm sure there'll be a lot more information about that by the time another 24 hours has elapsed. But I liked it. They did the old stuttering stop-start kick. Scored a penalty, good penalty. Let's be fair, that was on 85 minutes. We all thought we were going to win at that point, really, didn't we? But what can I say? Bit of a defensive error. They scored a wonderful free kick. Most of the time those goals don't go in. Bowen was sort of sharp. As I say, hit the post, really good. Just generally, it wasn't his best game. It wasn't, but he played so much of it up front, and I don't really want to see him there. That's the truth of the matter. Kudus was a bit disappointed to get substitute, wasn't he? So he came on. Somerville came on for him. Anyway, all right, let's cut to the chase. Ollie Scholes played, and so did Casey. So Casey came on so there was 8 minutes injury time. I think Casey came on in the 95th minute. So Casey got 3 minutes or something like that. Good, brilliant. Pleased for him, don't get me wrong. Scholes, a little bit different. Scholes came on, played sort of left back, left wing back, really. 74 minutes, I think. So he got a nice chunk. I was really, really pleased. Look, I did my little rant about the academy during the week. So it was just really nice to see two of them get on the pitch. I want to see more of it. We need to see a little bit more now. And I don't. It was weird. I suggested I'm responsible for my video, but I do wonder if, maybe that whole thing with the I don't know. Maybe it was a comeback against Mönchengladbach that the under-21s did. It has to be some. I feel that something happened for Skiles, for Orford, for Casey to all be on the bench, and for two of them to get on. I just feel like something's happened. So look, that's a really, really good thing. He's going to need to sort out his discipline. Lopetegui, he can't keep getting cards. It was what he missed. He only missed the Arsenal game, didn't he? And look, I don't think Lopetegui is the best manager in the world. I really don't. But it's going to be worse when he's not on the touchline. I do believe that to be the case. I don't think it's one of. Do you remember David Boyes and Irvine when Moyes got COVID and we beat, what was it? We beat Leicester 3-0 and Wolves 4-0. Or was it the other way around? Whatever. But that Moyes, everyone wanted Moyes to get COVID all the time. I don't think that's the case for every manager, far from it. And, I think he's going to have to sort out his discipline. The other one, in terms of discipline, I'll probably talk about is Edson Alvarez. I did get a card, but I didn't mind it. I thought he probably needed to take that card. So, there you go. I think it's good. I think it's good. I was pleased. I guess I was pleased to see us play a little better. Whether we can carry that on, I don't know. But that's. Well, I was expecting to lose this game, so that's definitely a bonus point. I think any point away from home is probably a good one in the Premier League. I think a point at Bournemouth. Really good. So yeah, happy with that. Bournemouth were disappointed because they came on strong at the end, but we had our chances at the end as well. A few more miles under the belt for Fulkrug as well, which I think is going to be important. Anyway, I'll catch up with you tomorrow. Thanks for tuning in, and I guess we'll have to go and decipher that Lukasz Paquetá message now.